All right, everybody, welcome to Tier List Tuesday here in the 404. My name's Mr. Page, and we'll be exploring all of the power levels of the strength skills in Blood Bowl 3 today on an S to F tier list. Who fails and who is super? All right, without further ado, let's get started here. Mighty Blow on top of the pile here and on top of the pack, too. Mighty Blow, absolutely S tier. If you want to remove your opponents, Mighty Blow is where you want to be. The best removal skill in the game. I think easy S tier for Mighty Blow. I think almost every coach agrees that getting one Mighty Blow on a team is great. And some of us coaches like to get 7 or 8 Mighty Blow on our teams. Whenever we can. The first Mighty Blow is particularly great because you can blitz with it every turn. The next power level break is 4 Mighty Blow, because then you can do your initial line hits and the blitz on that turn, all with Mighty Blow. Does Mighty Blow work when you surf? It does not, no. Just when you roll a POW into their face. And in Blood Bowl 3, it got slightly nerfed. If they roll a skull at your Mighty Blow guy, your Mighty Blow is not active on their turn. So slightly nerfed, but still amazing. How does Mighty Blow affect animal savagery? I think it's bugged. I think when your Rat Ogre punches his friend when he gets angry, Mighty Blow, I think, is supposed to be active. Well, I know it's supposed to be active for that punch, but it's not. I'm pretty sure it's bugged and it doesn't actually activate. It's supposed to be. So Mighty Blow bugged to be even slightly better. So your Rat Ogre's not as mean to his friends. All right. No need to mega discuss Mighty Blow. That's not a controversial one. Grab. Grab is next on our list here. So Grab lets you pick the slot you push the player into after you attack them from any of the surrounding slots instead of just the 3 in the opposite direction. It also negates sidestep. So grab is decent, but I mean, it's not great. I think if you're going for the context of random skill ups, how happy or sad are you when you hit grab? I mean, it's like a B. I think some people even end up picking grab on purpose later on in builds, but I think if you're going to be A tier or S tier, it's got to be like first pickable. Are we doing votes, Randy? No. Twitch, this is the Mr. Page edition of the tier list. Interesting idea to do a Twitch tier list, though, where you guys just vote on where to put everything. That is an intriguing idea. The chat is here during the YouTube video, though, so if you strongly disagree with me, it will show up on YouTube. But yeah, maybe B tier for grab, maybe C. Like, it's really not... It's not a failure. It's not horrible. It doesn't do nothing. I think if you're an elf coach, maybe it's a B, because it helps you one turn. It also helps you foul a little better. Not huge. Yeah, I'm going to make it C. Because Black Orcs do start with grab a ton, and it doesn't really make the team that much better. It helps, but it doesn't help a ton. All right, armbar. Speaking of failures, so armbar is basically Mighty Blow if your opponent fails to dodge away from you. You get +1 on the armor or injury roll if they fail to dodge away from you, which is like really rare and already great. You don't really need to make it better. I don't think it's F tier. It's not completely worthless. It's nearly worthless. It's like Mighty Blow where they dodge away, but that makes it almost worthless. Squibs, you're only going to disagree when it comes to Pile Driver. There'll be a lot of controversy on that one. Stay tuned for that. Armbar, yeah, Armbar, let's go E tier. It's fine, but it's not great. Guard. Guard is actually in contention for the best skill in the game. It spams even better than Mighty Blow. If you get Guard on your entire team, it's super good. Oh, what guard does, if you're not familiar, is it lets you give your assists even if you have multiple opponents next to you. You'll always assist. So guard is very similar to plus strength. Guard is kind of like plus strength for your friends. Guard is easily S tier and possibly like even better than Mighty Blow. I think I'd rather have my first Mighty Blow, but I'd rather have my fourth guard than my fourth Mighty Blow. Yeah, and guard got buffed too. Guard now helps you foul. Your fouling assists also are affected by guard, where in Blood Bowl 2 they weren't. So guard was already like contention for best skill in the game, and it got slightly better. Sparrow, you like block better? Well, okay, best strength skill in the game. Guard. All right, Brawler, a new kid on the block here, Brawler. Brawler lets you reroll a single both down when you're doing a block action. So if you blitz, your Brawler is not active. It's going to be a standing still attack. And you could reroll a single both down, which has the benefit of, like, if you got both down push, Brawler's kind of free. You reroll that. If it's a skull, you always have that push lingering. You can just select the push. So Brawler is kind of like block light, bad block. It can defend you, protect you from 1-in-9s and stuff, but not really well. I found when I have Brawler, and if I roll it both down in a skull, I team reroll. I don't Brawler reroll. I guess depending on how important it is, you gotta have been willing to eat it before you Brawler, which means Brawler's like pretty abysmally bad. Is it as bad as Grab? If we rank it in reference to where we've already been, I think it's worse than Grab. Oh, it's probably not worse than Grab. I don't think it's better than Grab either. I think it's decidedly C, which explains why Black Orcs aren't that great. They start with a bunch of skills, but they're very medium skills. Yeah, about the same as Grab. Yeah, Brawler does not work on a blitz, and more importantly, it doesn't work on your opponent's turn, so it doesn't defend you from both downs. Like, block is just way better. I think Brawler is literally never picked. It's decent to have it, and if you random it, I guess it has a decent effect. So we'll leave it at C, but like Grab does get picked sometimes later in builds. I don't think Brawler will ever get picked. So maybe in that case it does have to go down here. I get if you're going strictly in the context of randoming, Brawler and Grab are kind of on the same level. Actually, maybe I'd even rather hit Brawler if I'm randoming. Yeah, I think I want to kind of do this more with an eye towards randoming. Brawler, decent on big guys, but the fact that you can just save up for block on big guys, I think hurt Brawler a lot. Like, if you just put Brawler in Blood Bowl 2, I think it would be better. Because I think it's better than Juggernaut up for big guys. Or maybe you get both, because one is for blitzing and one is for standing and punching. But big guys these days are just going to save up for block. Strong arm, solid F tier. So strong arm, I don't even know for sure. Let's flip back over to Blood Bowl. Strong arm tooltip here. Strong arm. Let's read strong arm. +1 on passing ability test for a throw teammate action. If the player does not have throw teammate trait, they cannot have this skill. So +1 on your throw teammate. I don't know if I fully know the math behind throw teammate to know how impactful that is. So I think strong arm, like, you can't random it either. You can only random it if you can also throw teammate. Oh, come back, chat. So strong arm's weird. It's super niche, but it also doesn't get in your way from randoming. And then, like, if you are doing a team that relies on throw teammate, oh, but then you just start with strong arm, right? Like, Ogre starts with strong arm, Trolls don't. Or does it only the tree that starts with strong arm? Does an Ogre start with strong arm? We can find out. A Chaos Ogre. No, the Ogre doesn't have strong arm, just the tree. But maybe that's a reason why trees are better than ogres. Why halflings are better than goblins. But we don't get the stunty teams, so throw teammate touchdowns are kind of rare. I guess black orcs do them the most. So would you actually ever want to take strong arm on a troll though? I'm thinking no. So I'm thinking it is down here in F tier still. It is really nice that it exists though, because you can't random it. So maybe it doesn't go down in F tier. Maybe it's like irrelevant tier? Is there like a not on the list tier? Because if you're gonna look at this finished tier list to decide if it's good to random or not, strong arm isn't really affected. Let's put it over here, like an asterisk. Strong arm needs an asterisk. Asterisk. Asterisk tier. There we go. Strong arm with an asterisk. All right, go away, big yellow box. Just gonna get on a different layer. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, multi-block's not here either. Multi-block I don't even have on my spreadsheet because I haven't played with it yet. Multi-block and stab is potentially good, but hard to evaluate before it exists. Pile driver, though. Pile driver definitely exists, and I have tried it a lot. So pile driver is the evolved version of piling on, but it got a lot worse. So much so that I wouldn't even call it a rework of piling on. So it triggers at the same time as pile driver used to. If you do an attack and it fails, you can activate the pile driver skill to get a second chance to kill your opponent. But instead of being a second attack roll, it's now a foul sequence instead, and it uses your foul. You can't do a regular foul after activating pile driver. So there's a few really bad consequences to that. The biggest one is your mighty blow and your claw don't work anymore because it's a foul, not a block. Your sneaky git and your dirty player are active. But like, what piece is building to be good at both punching and then pile driving and fouling? Like, you kind of want to be one or the other. This is like bridging the two worlds. So yeah, we've tried it. Like, I didn't just immediately dismiss it. I've had a lot of pile drivers. I've been caught pile driving more than once. I've gotten extra removals because of pile driver. So what it is really high variance and fun. It's definitely fun as well. But I think if we compare it to armbar, from a randoming perspective, I think it's worse than grab and brawler, but probably about the same as armbar. Like, because you don't have to click the button. I mean, I have to click the button. I have a really hard time resisting clicking the button. But when it doesn't make sense and like you can't risk your turn ending early, it is just another shot at murder, which is nice. If you've got a lot of guard around, then you do have the benefit of the foul actually is better at breaking through armor. I don't think I'm willing to F tier it, like Randy's saying. I'm going to E tier it, though. I think we're going to E tier it. I would not be surprised if somebody else figures out a way that pile driver's good. I've tried and I've failed to find out the way the pile driver's good. So I think I got to stick it at E for my personal tier list. Rest in peace, pile driver. Rest in peace. All right, now a good skill. Stand firm. Solid A. Stand firm. When your opponent attacks you, they don't get to move you. You just stay in the same square, which means they can't follow up and they stay in the same square. It also means you can't get surfed. Stand firm. Super solid skill. Really good when you're brawling and stuff, but you never take it before guard. Not on purpose. If you random it before guard, it's reasonable still. I think stand firm, A tier. Not too shabby. Solidly, I think, as third best strength skill. And often what you'll pick after guard and mighty blow on a strength-oriented bash team. And a whole bunch of stand firm guard on your team can be super annoying. Like, denying your opponent the ability to push you away is nice. Also really good on big guys. Big guys often can be dealt with through just rolling red dice at them, because often a push is good enough to get them off your ball carrier or whatever. And as soon as they have stand firm, it gets rid of pushes being good enough. So solid 8 here for stand firm. Juggernaut. Juggernaut is the anti-stand firm. Juggernaut has a few different effects. It lets you turn a both down into a push while you're blitzing. So it'll protect you from ending your turn on a both down if you don't have block. It also lets you ignore your opponent's fend, wrestle, and stand firm skills when you're blitzing. So it lets you actually surf stand firm players. It lets you smash through bend guys and actually still follow up. Possibly most importantly, it lets you both down a wrestler. So if you have block, they have wrestle, your Juggernaut can still go kill them with both down being effective. So Juggernaut, there's an interface trap though in Blood Bowl 3 with Juggernaut. Blood Bowl 2 had the same trap where if you do use your block Juggernaut to go attack their wrestle player and you roll a both down, when you click the both down, the game is going to ask you, do you want to activate Juggernaut? And you need to tell it no. It is asking you if you want to turn that both down into a push. It's not asking you if you want to negate their wrestle skill. So you got to remember that you do not activate Juggernaut when you're murdering wrestlers. All that said, though, Juggernaut, I think it beat here. I think Stand Firm's decidedly better, but you'll see a lot more Juggernauts than grabs and brawlers. So I think B tier, good spot for Juggernaut. Juggernaut also really good at surfs. So you'll see Juggernaut on Witch Elves a lot. It's good at surfing because you can now surf stand firm players, which is great, but also changing both downs into pushes. Even if you have a block advantage, if you're surfing, you don't want to knock them down. You want to shove them into the crowd. So you'll often see Juggernauts on Witch Elves. Juggernaut, B tier. All right, next up, Break Tackle. Break Tackle evolved coming to Blood Bowl 3 as well. The new Break Tackle is if you have 4 strength or lower, you get +1 on 1 dodge per turn. You can activate the Break Tackle skill for +1 on a dodge. Very similar to an extra head, the mutation. If you have 5 strength, you actually get +2 to a dodge, making Break Tackle reasonable on big guys, and now pretty good on 3 strength, 3 agility things. It lets you dodge on a 2+ now, instead of on a 3+. So Break Tackle, way worse on 4 strength things, but actually better on 3 strength things than it used to be. So definitely better than Grab and Brawler. I don't know if it's equal to Juggernaut or Stand Firm. Probably Jugs. A ton of context, though. Like, if you've got a 4+ agility Line Dwarf, he doesn't want Break Tackle. You don't want to spend a skill, so you can now dodge on a 3+. So if you're thinking about Line Dwarves, I think it's down at B. But if you're thinking about Dwarven Blitzer, now all of a sudden you can dodge on a 2+. And that's pretty valuable. I think Break Tackle overall, though, I think a lot of people would put it at B. Just because it's so much worse than it used to be. It used to be like +3 or 4 to your dodge, depending on what character you used to have it on, not just +1. So it used to at least to let you use the strength skill instead of the agility skill for a dodge. I think it's B. Better than Grab and Brawler, but I'd still rather Stand Firm in most cases. And then last but not least, we got Thick Skull. Thick Skull, it makes normally when you're getting attacked, the KO results are an 8 and a 9. You're KO'd. 10, 11, 12, you're injured. Anything lower than that, you're stunned. Thick Skull means on the 8, you're also just stunned. which it's good. I don't know if it's ever worth picking. Is it better than Armbar and Piledriver? Probably. Like D tier for Thick Skull. A lot of people think it's worthless. Some people, some really good streamers, think it's best skill in the game. Not going to name names. A little trivia there. Who's the Thick Skull aficionado? But I think it's D. It's not that bad. Like, one of the reasons why dwarves are so annoying is they just get free Thick Skull everywhere, which also makes dwarves really good at randoming. Which I think segues nice into the summary here after we've created the tier list, which is when you random, how good is the strength tree? And I think it's really good. I think random strength is above average, especially on depending what skills your piece already started with. So dwarves all start with Thick Skull. They can't hit Strong Arm. So we're taking a couple of the whammies off of the board here. And you've got a lot of decent hits, like Mighty Blow and Guard getting randomly is fantastic. Stand Firm, Jugs, and Break Tackle are all decent, depending on which dwarf, I guess. Like I said, line dwarves don't really want Break Tackle. And if you're considering random strength skill on a Black Orc start with Brawler and Grab, so they're taking a few of the bad choices off too. They also can't hit Strong Arm. So I wonder if random strength on Black Orcs is actually a decent strategy too. I suspect the fact that they kind of really want block to mean that most people aren't going to be entertaining random strength on Black Orcs. But it is nice that they start with a few of the bad skills. And it's interesting to note too, the Old World Alliance Dwarven linemen start with Brawler and Armbar and Thick Skull. That particular dwarf has taken a lot of the really bad strength skills off the table. The best random strength odds are the Old World Alliance Dwarven Brawler, I think he's called. There's still a lot of bad ones, and he suffers the same as the Black Orc if he doesn't actually start with block. So I don't know how many people are going to actually do like 2 or 3 random strength skills on those guys, but they've got decent odds at it. All right, everybody. My name's Mr. Page. I hope you enjoyed this strategy page on the Bloodbowl 3 strength skills. If you don't mind dropping a subscription over on YouTube, that'd be much appreciated. Thumbs up and subscribe. Follow on Twitch. Satisfy all the algorithms. You have to feed algorithm. He demands satisfaction.